You have big ambitions and you dream of success, but somehow you just don't follow through on what you need to accomplish. You are fully aware of what you should be doing, yet you continually delay it, and each time you do, the feeling of guilt grows stronger. Motivation arrives in sudden bursts. You begin with strong intentions, but then the pattern happens again. Procrastination slowly enters the picture, and you persuade yourself that you are simply a lazy individual. The true issue is not laziness. It is something much more profound, something that holds you back in place, and once you grasp what it is, breaking away from it becomes much simpler than you imagine. So what is truly going on here? It is not a lack of motivation, it is inertia. In physics, objects that are at rest tend to remain at rest, and guess what? The very same principle applies to you. Just think about it. When you are relaxing on the sofa, looking through your phone, the most difficult part is not the actual work, but the act of getting up and beginning. Most common advice concentrates on the surface symptoms, remove distractions, or simply exert more willpower. But if we do not tackle the core issue of inertia, we will continue to find ourselves stuck in the same cycle. So how can we escape this endless loop of putting things off? How do we move from being completely stuck to genuinely taking action? The solution is not greater motivation. It is not more willpower. It is simply about minimizing the friction that exists between you and the job you need to do. The first step is to lower the resistance. Begin with a step that is even smaller than you believe is necessary. This is where the majority of people make a mistake. When we think about completing a task, we make it appear enormous in our thoughts. We tell ourselves, I must finish my entire essay, I need to exercise for a full hour, I have to clean the whole apartment, and because the job feels so large, we become frozen. This is inertia in action. The bigger the task feels, the more difficult it seems to begin. The secret is to make it smaller. Instead of declaring, I need to study for 3 hours, tell yourself, I will just read one single page. Instead of I have to clean my entire room, say, I will just pick up one sock. It sounds almost silly, right? But that is precisely the idea. The smaller the initial step, the simpler it is to start, and here is the magical part. Once you begin, your brain transitions into a state of motion. Momentum begins to build. The most challenging part is already behind you. You read one page, and suddenly, reading a second page does not seem so difficult. You pick up one sock, and before you realize it, you are cleaning up the entire area. By reducing the resistance, you cleverly guide your brain into action. And that leads us to the second method, one of the most straightforward yet incredibly effective productivity tricks available. The second step is the 2-minute rule. Trick your brain into taking action. Now, let us take this idea even further. There is a method known as the 2-minute rule, and it works in this way. If you do not feel like doing something, just promise yourself you will do it for only 2 minutes. That is all. There is no pressure to keep going, just 2 minutes, and then you are free to stop if you wish. So the next time you find yourself delaying, keep this in mind, lower the resistance. Begin with the smallest step you can imagine. Use the 2-minute rule, just start, and see where the momentum carries you, because once you are moving, stopping becomes the harder part. There is a reason you often hear successful individuals say, just get started. It is not merely motivational talk, it is physics. Newton's first law of motion explains that an object at rest will stay at rest, and an object in motion will stay in motion, unless an outside force interferes. This applies to you as well. Think about the last time you finally sat down to work on something you had been putting off. At first, it felt like a struggle just to begin, but once you got going, time seemed to fly. That is because momentum took control, and when momentum takes over, everything begins to feel easier. So if beginning is the most difficult part, the question then becomes, how do we make certain we do not quit? How can we develop consistency and make progress feel almost automatic? The answer is surprisingly simple, through small, consistent actions. Most individuals believe productivity is about driving yourself with large bursts of motivation, but in truth, small daily actions build momentum much more effectively. Here is the reason. If you commit to just 2 minutes every day, whether it is writing, exercising, studying, whatever it may be, It might not appear like much at the beginning, but something fascinating occurs day after day. That tiny habit expands. 2 minutes becomes 5, 5 becomes 20, and before you know it, you are no longer depending on motivation. You are simply doing it naturally. It is the same reason brushing your teeth does not feel like a major task. You do not have to persuade yourself to do it. It is just a habit. And when something turns into a habit, it no longer uses up your willpower. It occurs automatically. This is exactly how top athletes, writers, and entrepreneurs maintain their productivity. Great authors do not write a whole book in one day. They begin by writing one sentence, then one paragraph, then one page. Athletes do not wait for motivation to train. They simply show up, warm up, and allow momentum to take over. Entrepreneurs do not build businesses overnight. They take one small action each day until their success accumulates. They are not always motivated. They just understand that momentum is more powerful than motivation every single time. So if you wish to stop feeling stuck, stop waiting for motivation to appear. Instead, focus on getting started, because once you do, momentum will take care of the rest. All right, now it is your turn. Think of one job you have been avoiding, just one. It could be that assignment you have been delaying, that workout you keep missing, or that side project you have been intending to start. Now, here is your challenge. Forget about the entire task. Just take the very first step. Commit to only 2 minutes, that is all. No pressure, no expectations. Just begin. Because once you do, you will understand something powerful. You were never lazy. You just needed momentum. You do not have to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. And if these ideas have helped you break free from procrastination, make sure to press that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I will be sharing more life-changing methods to help you stop overthinking, get unstuck, and build the life you truly want, one small step at a time. Now, go ahead and start your 2 minutes. Your future self will be grateful to you.